What is the awakening that the characters in your book experience, that you're trying to share with everyone?
I think that, so this is where it kind of relates back to the memoir. When I was growing up, I felt very disempowered, just disempowered. The first thing that, and this is what I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. The first thing that I felt really disempowered me was my parents totally lovingly, just blindly, just didn't know what they were doing, thought, well, it's, we want our daughter to have the same opportunities that white people have. And okay. So we're going to put her in a position where she can thrive just like the little white girls. So they put me in the Little Miss America pageant. Right? Okay. So, but they thought, oh, we are rocking it. Like we're, but not realizing I'm 5 and I don't know anything about anything. This is when child abuse was really in style, because, you could get away with anything. So they kind of whisked me away from my parents. And next thing you know, I'm on stage. I felt like cattle. I remember just being very, like you get a number and you put the number across your chest.
Okay. So your parents, doing what they thought would be giving you such a big advantage. I'm hearing you really felt like this was something that was not welcome, didn't feel special, didn't feel even safe to be a part of, it sounds.
It didn't feel safe because I had been watching Little Miss America and I saw that the only girls that won were blondes and white and, and really, really white, you know what I mean? So I already knew at 5 that I was like, this doesn't sound good at all. Like, this doesn't seem, and I wanted to believe from the optimistic, perspective of a 5-year-old, of course I can win. And my mother kept saying, oh yes, you can do anything. You can win. We got this. We're going to, she got my hair done in this outdated Shirley Temple thing. And she was like, oh girl, you look great. And I, and half my teeth were missing. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But I thought, but in my heart, I thought, I don't think this is gonna work. This just doesn't look promising. And when I saw all of the white girls, and just also the way that they, people were very dehumanizing, they herd us like animals. And I felt like an animal. And they herd us into this group, and didn't give you a chance to bring, they didn't even let you bring your mother. So you're just alone. And then you're on a stage.
Scary for a little girl.
It was really, really scary. And I remember that I made it to the finals, but then my number didn't get called. And I was standing on the stage, and I looked out, and there was thousands of people, and I just remember feeling completely disempowered. I was like, this sucks. And I thought I misunderstood. I looked out into the sea and I thought I saw my dad, and he was crying. And I thought, oh my God, he's so disappointed that I lost. I let him down. This is really bad. And come to find out later that he was crying because he felt guilty that he had put me in such a ridiculous position. But the point is that I felt so disempowered in that moment. And I just thought, I never, ever want to feel like this again. Ever. Yeah. So a lot of the book is about how women, just even as children, are kind of, geared to not step into their power, or to have their power feel like it's being stripped away. And these characters in the book are about getting their power back and helping others to get their power back.
Okay, so it's very collective. They recognize that we are all interdependent creatures. And so the more empowered one person is, if that power is not perceived as a finite resource, then everyone around you can be empowered as well. That sounds like a really cool premise.
So in looking at that situation, and the way that I feel felt so disempowered, what is your perspective on that? Just the whole thing. This is not about blaming my parents. I know they meant well, but what happened at that? Because my psyche changed after that.
Yeah, it sounds like it was such a profound experience for you. Let me think about how to speak to that. I mean, sometimes we just have kind of a precocious knowing about a situation when we're young. And it sounds like in that moment, you looked around and maybe really kind of saw that the cards were stacked against you because of something that was so contrastedly unique about you. And, you know, in some instances that might feel really empowering, but it sounds like for you, it felt really disempowering because you knew the odds. And because you had watched all of those shows growing up, you really kind of understood that the odds were not with you in that scenario. And, you know, I imagine being a young girl and wanting so desperately to be a part of something so fun and something that you watched on TV, and then being there and just the reality of it, not matching the fantasy, you know, in addition to any inklings of, you know, racial differences that you might have perceived at that point. I don't know how aware of that you were when you were 5.
Yes, I was very, very aware.
Yeah. So I think, you know, it sounds kind of like the perfect storm for a little girl's fantasies to get crushed. And it sucks that you had that experience and it wasn't more joyful for you.
Thank you. And I think that, you know, one of the things that the characters do in the book, they can go into your past experience rather than like save you, right? Rather than like, you know, your typical superhero that comes in and starts kicking and things start flying around. They go in and help people's trauma. So the character in the book would come back, would look at me in the present, and then go back to me at 5 years old. And then she would stand next to me on the stage. And she would probably just stop the whole thing altogether and be like, this whole shit is inappropriate. This all the way around we're shutting it down. That's what I wish somebody had done. I wish somebody had come on the stage and said, all you little girls, go home and have, you know, and eat your little non-dairy ice cream. Go home.
That's such a cool premise, right? One of the questions that comes up so often in the work that I do, if you could go back and change the circumstances of what happened to you, would you? And why or why not? Right? How has it shaped you? And how do you think it would be different? Those are questions that I think of. And I know so often people really struggle with that question because in many ways, the things that are our struggles, our adversities, are the things that help us develop resilience and our character. And if we're able to process through the hurt, sometimes the gift of character development on the other side of that is so juicy that, you know, to go back and rewrite history, I don't know. You know, some people would, some people wouldn't. Certainly would change the course of who you become. And so I wondered, you know, if you could go back and erase that event from your life's history, would you?
Yes, I would. I would rewrite it. I would totally rewrite it. If there was a program in my brain where I could have this character come on the stage and just and just call it out and just be like, this is racist, sexist, child abuse. Everybody go home, and turn to me and say, you are great. You are wonderful. You are fine. You don't need to prove how cute you are. You don't even need to be cute. Let's get off the stage.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And wait a minute. I'm sure you were cute and adorable, and like,
a lot of my teeth were missing. But that's okay. I have a right to be toothless, right?
That's not only your right; it's your job as a child to lose all your teeth.
Yes, yes. So just feeling like someone telling me that I don't have to look a certain way, and that the way that I look is fine.
Yes. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this live with me today. And I hope it's the start of many conversations about equality and sort of dismantling systems that, you know, most people grew up in and don't really understand how it's impacted them as adults. And so I really appreciate you being willing to talk about how that one experience started this kernel of investigation for you.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me. I again look forward to many more conversations. You are the best.
Oh, stop. Stop. You are. I really appreciate it, Gina. Have an awesome weekend. Thanks everyone for watching. And you can check out the replay on YouTube, Modern Intimacy, and check out Gina's book, Blue Ormus. Gina, where can people get it?
They can go to blueormus.com, or you can get it right on Amazon.
Perfect. And your social media handles for anybody who wants to watch your comedy?
Is the Gina Gold Show.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.